His helmet is off.
Here we go, baby. Not his own three. 1, 2, 3.
And his mic is on.
That's a sackaroonie, baby.
Time for our 49ers Player of the Week with Murph and Markus.
Sorry I stole your sackaroonie, buddy. But hey, there'll be more.
On KNBR, the sports leader.
With the 70th pick of the 2018 NFL Draft, the San Francisco 49ers select Fred Warner, linebacker out of BYU.
1st and 10 Vikings on the Niner 21. Darnold throws middle, intercepted by Fred Warner. He was now touchdown. He jumps up and runs back the other way. 20, 30, hurdles a man, finally pushed down by Darrisaw.
What a play by Fred Warner.
There it is, man. The sounds of Fred Warner on the football field. That is what we like to see, 49ers fans. And in your morning commute, you like to hear him on the radio. He's our Player of the Week. We are delighted to have one of the leaders of the 49ers joining us right now on the UMA guest line. And Fred's hit is sponsored by Bigelow Tea. Grab a mug and tea proudly. So, Fred, we usually get you about once a year. We're delighted to have you back in the morning drive. Everybody getting ready for a Tuesday in the Bay. Brian Murphy, Markus Boucher, Murph, and Markus. How you doing, Fred? Good morning.
Hey, what's up, Fred?
Man, good morning, fellas. Thanks for having me.
How you doing? You're always, you're a guy who takes care of yourself. I always like to find out what's a premier NFL linebacker doing on a Tuesday morning to get ready for his job.
Yeah, man, getting ready to head to the facility, get some recovery stuff in, start the week off right, and start getting this prep on the old Kansas City Chiefs, man.
And how much was this last 3 days good for your body? Tell us, can you take us inside how much that is? I mean, the short week is tough, but then the recovery period, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, how did you handle that?
Oh, yeah, it was major. It was major, especially for me. The last 2 weeks I've been dealing with that ankle that I had back during the Patriots game. So having this extra 3 days to kind of get that taken care of was so big, and just the mental reset too. You know, it's a long season, and just being able to spend time with my family that I wouldn't usually have was also just major.
Hey, take us inside that ankle a little bit. I know you don't like to talk about injuries, but listen, you were out there gutting it out in the Arizona game and then had to do it on a short week. I mean, how deep do you have to dig on something like that, and just how compromised were you?
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. You know, not to go too deep into it, but obviously I wasn't able to finish that Patriots game, and I'm a guy who it's going to take everything to take me off the field, because I feel like I got to be out there for my guys and my team, and was so grateful that I was able to get out there versus the Cardinals and Seattle. And it's my job, if I'm going to go out there, to be ready to go, and that's just how it is. In the NFL, man, everybody's banged up. It's rare you're ever going to be feeling 100%. So you got to find ways to make it happen.
Yeah, and Fred, we know that injuries are a part of the game, and your guys' team has dealt with plenty of them this year. But I want to ask you about Dre Greenlaw, who we have not seen so far this year. I know 49er fans are always looking for an update on Dre, where he's at physically and mentally, and what it's been like for you not being out there with your partner in crime.
Yeah, Dre's doing great, man. I see him every day doing his rehab. Obviously is in great spirits, regardless of not being out there on the field. He's on track with everything. He looks great. And, I do miss him. I miss him a lot. We're talking about one of the best defensive players in the entire NFL, regardless of position, in my mind. So anytime you're missing a key playmaker and a leader for us, and when he's not out there, it's a big deal. But, he'll be back in good timing when he's back ready to go.
Talking to Fred Warner, of course, one of the leaders of the 49ers, who got a big win up in Seattle to get right and to get ready for a big game Sunday against the Chiefs. But before we get to the Chiefs and your season, let's talk about Sunday or Thursday in Seattle. It's just anytime you get there, it's a different deal. It's under the lights. It's loud. Can you take us through maybe the pregame, the prep, and then as that game unfolded, how you guys realized you were asserting yourselves up there, what it meant to you guys?
Yeah, pregame, the vibes were just right, man. We had talked about during those short few days exactly our mindset going into it. We all felt like it was a game that we had to get. We couldn't drop 0-3 in the division to start the year, and we needed to get back even in our record. And it was a huge task, because Seattle having a great start for their season, and then it's going to be in their house on the road, big primetime game. Everybody's going to be up for it. And, all pregame, I could tell in everybody's eye and the way that everybody was walking, like everybody was ready to go. It really didn't take much get guys going, and then the game went exactly how we would have liked to start. And then, obviously later in the game, things did get a little closer, but at the end of the day, I'm happy and proud of the guys for standing up, man, and winning a close game at the end, because it could have went either way towards the end there.
Did you feel, listen, we as fans, it's 23-3. You guys are dominating. Then it's 23-17, and it's loud. Now, Fred, I'm going to tell you flat out, I was like, okay, Niners going to win this game. Niners going to win this game. But I wouldn't be lying if there was 1% of my brain going, okay, I don't want this to happen again. So can you tell us, honestly, I know you think positive. You're a winner. You're a champion. But was there a part of your brain where you're like, I have to get this out of my head. This can't happen again?
Yeah, I said it in my presser after the game. I joked about it. They're like, was there a familiar feeling based on the last two divisional losses and how those went? Was there a familiar feeling out there? And I was like, 1,000%. They came within one score, and the momentum is completely on their side, and the crowd is getting into it. And I remember our defense being able to go out there with a touchdown lead. And I looked everybody in their eye on the sideline. I'm like, hey, do you realize we're winning the game right now? We're up by a touchdown. They don't have to score again, and we win this game. So, let's just go do it. There's no need to, start feeling like, oh, man, I don't know what's going to happen. No, let's go be the defense we know we can be. And that's when Renardo got his interception, and it kind of flipped things in our favor.
I do want to ask you about some of your teammates, because you mentioned Renardo. I saw a social media clip you had on your podcast about Malik Mustafa. And just maybe just spend a little moment on those rookies. I know they're DBs, they're behind you. You can't always see what they're doing. But Malik makes that interception, and you teased him on social about not going upfield and going out of bounds. And then Renardo undercutting that route. When you got to see it on film, what can you tell 49ers fans out there in the locker room about rookies making plays in that environment, what it means for the rest of the season?
Yeah, no, it's major. Both guys have been phenomenal. I think you talk about Malik, and everybody on the team knows how we feel about him, just because, Kyle gets in front of the team, and usually when he singles a guy out, he usually really likes the guy. And he singled out Malik a couple times with some clips of him just with no hesitation, flying through the football, being the exact type of player that we love, having a part of our team and our defense. Renardo has come on just so strong, man, continuing to get better every week. From the moment he got on the team, you could tell his man-to-man cover skills are, some of the tops. Just not even as a rookie, to come in and be strapping guys up the way he was. It just took him now really honing in on all the little details, and you see it come into fruition. So both those guys, man, I'm so happy for them, and we're going to need them, both of them in a big way going forward.
For sure. Fred Warner, the voice you hear, our player of the week. It's great to have him on the UMA guest line. And so you were talking about DBs. A guy I wanted to ask you as not a rookie, but a guy who's really asserting himself. And you know this as a three-time first-team All-Pro Fred, is Demo Lenoir. He's playing, it seems like, at a very high level. He also got home and went on IG Live and was sort of taunting DK Metcalf. He's had some incredible post-game quotes. He seems like a very confident young man. I'd love to get your take on Demo Lenoir and watching this kid grow from a rookie to a guy who's, brashly confident in a positive way.
Yeah, no, I love Demo. Love everything that he's about. He does things a little differently than some cats, but hey, it's all good. When you're balling, you can do those type of things, and he's balling right now, man. I think he's one of the best players on our team. We have a lot of really, really good players, but the way that he's playing, I've seen it in him even last year, and then going into this year, he's just continued to get better, man. And nobody realizes how hard it is in this league to play outside corner and then be asked to go inside and play nickel, in the run fits, almost like a linebacker, seeing things differently. It's incredible, man, the way that he's playing right now. And he's got to continue to just keep getting better.
Yeah, Demo seems like he's on his way to an all-pro season, but Fred, it looks like you're on your way to another all-pro season also. Already 2 interceptions and 4 forced fumbles. We got to ask you about the peanut punch that Charles Tillman made famous. But Fred, with the amount of forced fumbles that you're getting, I'm not sure if you were a Super Smash player growing up. Shout out Captain Falcon, the Falcon Punch. Maybe we need to rename it to the Fred Warner Falcon Punch. We lost him.
Oh,
Man.
I wanted the Falcon Punch.
I was working that riff all week.
I liked it.
Yeah. Shout out Captain Falcon, Super Smash Bros.
Yeah, tell me more about that.
The Falcon Punch was his signature move. And so Fred Warner, we talk so much about the peanut punch. I was thinking we need something for Fred. So I'll throw it to Greg Papa and Tim Ryan if they want to use the Fred Warner Falcon Punch.
Okay.
The next time Fred Warner has a forced fumble.
I like it. Except for there is a team called the Falcons. But we'll have to get around that.
That's why I had to clarify it was Captain Falcon.
The connection was good. I wonder why it dropped off. The miracle. It's amazing. And more technology has advanced, the worse phone lines have gotten. It's incredible. Used to get guys on old-fashioned landlines. They never went anywhere.
Well, I'm glad to find out that the phone line dropped off, not that Fred just hated my question.
All right, he got it back. We're back here. Fred, I don't know if you heard Marcus's question about the Falcons.
No, I heard it. I heard it. It was a great question. Great question.
Yeah, Fred, I think we need to rename it the Fred Falcon Punch. What are your thoughts on that?
I like that. I like that. You know, we got to get some options, but that's a good front runner.
Mm-hmm. And how much do you practice that? Like going around, we saw you at training camp earlier this year throwing haymakers. I know Dre Greenlaw likes to throw a couple punches and knock that ball out also. How much of that is a part of your game?
Yeah, man. I mean, it's something I've been doing ever since my second year in the league. You know, I'm in year 7 now, so I think 5 years worth of just punches during practice, during games. Like, you know, I always remember the first one I got out was the first game of the season in 2019 against Tampa Bay. You go back and, you know, I lined the tight end caught the ball and I lined him up and just punched it out. And I was like, wow, like that's the fact that I can make a game-changing play for my team, like by just punching the ball out. I just continue to just focus on that and keep dialing that up. And now it's just really, I don't know. They just come in, and when they come in bunches, you know. So I'm just gonna continue to try to do whatever I can, man, to help win games. That's all I'm trying to do.
I say you keep doing it, baby, and whatever we call it, if it's Falcon Punch, so be it. If we come up with something else, keep doing it. The Freddie Falcon, man, it is working. We're talking a couple more minutes here for Fred Warner here before he goes off on his pregame prep for the Chiefs. So listen, I mean, we didn't want to make this all about the Super Bowl rematch. Such a tired narrative, but here it comes. You're going to face it Wednesday and Thursday in the media and all that stuff. But just in general, like, you know, your mindset going into this game, because, yeah, it is another game. And, yeah, there's a game right after it, Dallas Cowboys, and then there's a bye week, and then there's the Bucs and all that stuff. But will there be something to seeing the jersey and the helmet and seeing 15 back there for the Chiefs that makes it a different game? And how do you think you'll react?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's important. This is an important game for us. One, because of where we're at in the season. You know, we haven't had the start that we would have wanted, but we got that win on Thursday night and put ourselves in position to do everything we want to do going forward. And we got to prove to ourselves that we can win. You know, against great football teams in this league. I mean, the Chiefs are undefeated this year and still at the top of their game. And like you mentioned, they still got 15 back there, and I have yet to beat them. You know, I think I played against them maybe 4 times now and have yet to beat them. So I think it's important. It's an important game for us to try to get over that hump and get this win.
Yeah, for sure. And seeing 15 and just to kind of focus on that, like Mahomes, like obviously all the respect in the world, but you want to get one on him, right? I mean, I don't know whether it's a pick, a forced fumble. There's something. You guys got to let him know 15 know that you guys can get him.
Listen, whatever it takes, you know, at the end of the day, I'm just trying to do whatever it takes to win. Like I mentioned before, like any of those punch outs or interceptions and things like that, like they're great statistical wise and all that. But like at the end of the day, like I just want to do whatever it takes to win. If I finish with 2 tackles and we win the game, like, hey, we did whatever it took to win the game. So that's something that we talk about every week, what it takes to win, and we'll talk about that tomorrow. And we're going to hone in on that and try to find a way, man.
Moving on from number 15 to 87, got to ask you about Travis Kelce, because on Sports Talk Radio, we talk about systems so much, whether it's Kyle Shanahan's system or Andy Reid's system. But I think one of the best things that Travis Kelce and Patrick Mahomes do is go off script. So what is that like for you dropping back in coverage, knowing that at any given time, Travis Kelce can call his own audible and try to find that soft spot of the defense?
Yeah, it's just having an awareness, really, of knowing where he's at all times, and you realize that with those off-schedule plays, you gotta cover a little extra longer, you know, than what you're probably used to. So you gotta put your track cleats on, you're ready to run all day, and eat a good breakfast before, because it's gonna be a long day.
Yeah, he likes to find those things. Wrap it up here, our last few minutes here with Fred Warner, our 49er Player of the Week. I'm looking at the defensive totals in general. You know, there's so many different ways to use DVOA or EPA, whatever, all the stats now. But there's old-fashioned yards. You guys have only allowed one team to get 400 yards, and it was the Vikings got 403. You've held 1, 2, 3 other teams under 300. You know, I'm just kind of wondering, like, statistically, and, you know, you guys are 3-3 as a team. But fans are like, oh, man, Nick Sorensen's defense, I don't trust it yet because the Niners are losing games late. I don't know. You tell us, what's it like playing for Nick Sorensen and Brandon Staley? How are you guys progressing under them, and what's the identity you guys are trying to achieve?
Yeah, no, it's been amazing. I love Coach Sorensen. I think Brandon Staley's been a great addition for us as well with what he brings. But you know, it's a work in progress. Like anytime you have a new group with new leadership and new players, it takes time. And you know, it's going to take time for us to get to where we want to be. Our standard is being the number one defense. You know, that's all. That's all we're ever shooting for. That's the only thing on my mind. And I know that if we're playing like that, then we give our team the best chance to win and get to where we want to go. So, like I said, it's a work in progress. Everybody just got to be patient, and you know, we'll keep working hard to make sure that we're the best that we can be.
And then just on a personal note, did you reach out to Robert Saleh? I mean, tough deal, man. New York's a crazy place. The Jets are a crazy organization. He's obviously a great coach, and he got a tough deal. Did you reach out to him?
Yeah, I decided to let him get some time away first, you know, kind of let things – I know his phone's probably blowing up right now, people hitting him up and all those sort of things. So kind of giving him his time. But it's a brutal business. Things don't surprise me anymore with how things go down. But I know I wish Coach Saleh the best. Everybody knows how I feel about him and what he's meant to me in my career. So all the best to him.
Few more minutes here with Fred Warner on the Uma guest line. And Fred, I wanted to ask you about another former defensive coordinator, D'Amico Ryans, who was doing a great job with the Houston Texans. But looking back at your career, can you tell us about your relationship with D'Amico and how much he helped you with your development?
Yeah, no, D'Amico was everything, you know, in terms of just my development as a player, as a man, and just helping me elevate into the player that I am today. First as my linebacker coach, but then also as my defense coordinator, man, and he just gave me all the confidence in the world, all the tools I needed to continue to grow and be great. And now having my coach, Johnny Holland, you know, the best in the game, best linebacker coach in the game, teaching us now. But, yeah, it all started with D'Amico, man, and I'm so happy for his success over in Houston. And, yeah, you just got to keep it going.
We got to end it with this, man. What a sight to see Ricky Pearsall out there yesterday. Did we hear, Marcus, we heard somebody singing Many Men?
50 Cent.
Was that you, Fred?
Nah, that wasn't me, man. Who was singing that?
Well, we were saying it was appropriate. One of your teammates was singing it in the group, but you just have to tell us and tell the fans what it meant to see that kid out there. It seemed like a really, I don't want to say overly emotional, but it certainly gave you a feeling to see him on the football field, didn't it?
No, yeah, it was amazing, man. Just having him back out there, his energy, and then everything that he's gone through to be back playing football is incredible. It's such a miracle and such a story for him to be back out there with us, and we're so grateful to have him. He's been a great addition to our team, and I'm excited to see him, man, when obviously it's his time to be out there on game day and experience that. You know, he deserves everything that's coming to him.
Well, a lot of NFL eyes on you guys this Sunday at 125. 49ers Chiefs, always must-watch TV. Fred, you're having an incredible season. Congratulations on what you've achieved already. The stat line is overflowing, and I know there's more to come. Like you said, the work in progress with Nick Sorensen and everything. So we look forward to watching you play football on Sunday, and we appreciate you hopping on, man. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Fred.
Yeah, thank you guys, man. Appreciate you guys.